Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rosano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast, ladies and gents, in one, two, three galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves. We are coming to you live today. It is Tuesday evening. It'll probably be late. It'll probably be around midnight when this show gets uploaded. But here we are again, talking, having a good time. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about something. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to talk about something very important. Okay? No, ladies and gentlemen, this is very important. I'm going to tell you a story. Last week, I was with my parents. We spent the day together. A day and a half, probably. Day together. We hung out. We watched TV. We shared some jokes. We shared some laughs. And one thing that I do with my parents whenever I go visit them, my parents, they like to play the lottery. They like to play the pick 3, the pick 4. They like to do that. And then when I'm there, they ask me for a number. I give them a number. You see if it hits or not. And so I told my parents the last day I was there, I said, you know what? I wrote down a number. I gave my mom $1. I said, here you go, sister. I said, let's see how this flies, And I was one number off. Didn't win $6,000. I was hoping to win $6,000. Would have been nice, you know what I mean, to win $6,000. But I didn't win. And I thought to myself, because there's a guy in the town that I grew up, and he plays the numbers, but he does the it's the thing, you can play the same number over and over. Let's say you get one pick for a number. We'll just go with Missouri. Missouri, you can win up to $6,000. Okay, so if you play the number, if you get pick 4, you pick 4 numbers. We'll just say, let's say you pick 2074. Okay, and then 2074 comes up. You play it straight. You win $6,000. And sometimes, what some people do, the real gamblers, they might play the number 1, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and some people say, because my mom, she used to always tell me, because every now and then, I don't play the lottery as much as they do, but every now and then I'll get an itch, and I'll go down and to the store and play a number. And I'll tell my mom, I say, I played it straight, Straight box is a thing where you can, it's straight box is sort of like hedging your bet, If the number comes up, but it's not in the exact order, then you'll win some money. You won't win as much as, $6,000, but you'll win something. You might win $100, $200, something like that, It just depends on the state you live in. But my mom, she would tell me one day, she said, see, you need to play your number straight box. And I said, you know what, sister? I'm not hedging nothing, okay? I'm all in. I ain't in at all, okay? I gamble, I'm like, I'm gambling, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is gambling one-on-one. I go for the gusto, And sometimes in life, you have to just bet on yourself. You ever think about, sometimes if you sit back and you think to yourself, if you look around and you see people, and people are living a life, but is it the life that they want? And you have to think to yourself, are you living the life that you want? Is this the way? Or the things that you are doing, is those are those the things that you want to be doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you where you want to be? And sometimes if you can't say yes in in a short amount of time, then you might need to really look into doing something else. You might need to say, hey, what can I do to start really taking gambles for myself and doing the things that I actually want to do, you know? If you're one of these people that want to travel the world, you know, and you're not traveling the world, then what you can do is say, hey, let me start figuring out what I can do and start traveling the world. You know, you have to bet on yourself. Now, we all know there's no job that's going to make you rich, you know, unless you're the CEO of Coca-Cola, you know. But for the most part, if you're listening to this show, you ain't the CEO of Coca-Cola, unfortunately for you, you know. If you listen to this show, you ain't the CEO of Walmart. You know what I mean? Probably not. You could be, but I doubt it. But the point I'm trying to make is sometimes we get into a groove in life. We just sort of you just sort of going through the motions, you know, and you think, is this what I want to do, or is this what I think I should be doing, you know? And I've been in that situation before. And listen, if you're in that situation, don't beat yourself up. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now. No matter what you're in, do not beat yourself up. Do not think, oh man, I suck. I'm not where I want to be. You know, there's no such thing as, you know, feeling bad about this or feeling bad about that, you know. Listen, life is a long road, you know. You're here for a short amount of time, don't get me wrong. You could be here 100 years. The planet's been around for millions and millions of years. So your time on this earth is short compared to how long the earth is, how long the world has been in existence, okay? And you can't beat yourself up. You should not beat yourself up because, hey, listen, we've all taken a job that we needed. You know, you needed some cash. You know what I mean? We've all taken a job. We've all done a couple things that is just like, ugh, ugh, I don't want to be here. You know, we've all been down that road before. But at some point, and it doesn't matter how old you are, when you figure out, hey, I want to do something different with myself. You could be 90 years old and figure that out. You can be 20 years old and figure that out. It does not matter. There's a lot of haste for people to think, oh, if I'm not a millionaire by the age of 30, then I'm a failure, you know. Some people start early in life, some people start late in life. Some people, the height of their career. I'll give you an example. Macaulay Culkin was I remember I was a kid. Home Alone came out, and Macaulay Culkin was like a 9-year-old kid. And Home Alone back in 1990 probably was in the movie theater. This is back in the day where if the movie was hidden, the movie stayed in the movie theater for a long time. I can remember Home Alone being in the movie theater for a good solid 6 months, you know? And so this kid went from being trying to be an actor or whatever to be one of the biggest box people in the world, one of the biggest movie stars in the world. And he was 9 years old. And for him, it was like, there's nowhere else to go, you know, as far as acting. I mean, you know, not in life, but I'm talking about in acting, in his profession. He was never going to make a movie. I don't care what kind of movie. Macaulay Culkin was never going to be in a movie as big as Home Alone. And he was 9 years old, or 10, or whatever, how old he was. The point I'm trying to make is for acting, that was the peak of his life. And he was 9 years old. But does that mean that if you try to get your kid to be an actor, does that mean that they're gonna do a blockbuster movie at 9 years old? Probably not. It might take them. They might be 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. But the point is, they are taking a risk by being an actor. Being an actor is a hard way to make a living. It looks glamorous for some, but for most people, it's shattered dreams, empty promises, and it doesn't work out. But a lot of times the reason why it doesn't work out is because they don't do the full gamble on themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not do the full gamble, what I mean is, if you do not go from head to toe, if you do not explore your life from head to toe, if you do not try, if you do not give it a real try, a real shot, if you half step, if you half ass, if you do anything like that, you know you're not gonna succeed in what you want to do. You have to go full gusto. A lot of times people, they put one toe in the water, one toe, doop. Put one toe in the water. It's too cold. It's too hot. It's too cold. It's too hot. Dive in. Whatever you want to do, dive in and be committed. I'll give you an example. I've been doing this podcast for 3 years. We're all the way in. I know the success is coming. Well, first off, the success is already here because we had a download. That's the most important thing you can do is get a download. You get a download, you're cooking with grease, okay? So you get a download, you say, hey, I'm a podcaster, You make a few bucks. You go, hey, I'm a paid podcaster, okay? You go full in and you say, hey, I'm not going to stop until I get to where I want to go. But enjoy the journey along the way. You know what I'm saying? Do not get into the destination. The destination, you never know where the destination. Who cares about the destination? Get in the car and go. Get started and just see where it takes you. One of the best things that used to be before GPS and before you had to actually know where you're going. I grew up in a small town. I grew up in the country, and out in the country, you would get in the car on a Friday night. You would get in the car on a Friday night, crank it up, and me and my homeboy John Boy back in the day. Shout out to John Boy. We would get in the car, and he would go, "Where we going, cuz?" And I'd say, "Cuz, we just gonna figure it out." And we would just drive around, and sometimes we would end up 20 miles up the road. Sometimes we would go south, north, east, west. Did not matter. We just drove, and once we figured out, all right, I think we should go this way or that way, we would start heading in that direction. But the point is just to go. Just dive in. Go all the way. Do full on gamble on yourself. Do not do it half. Because a lot of times, this is why MLM is 1% of the people make it in MLM. You know why the 1% people make it? Because in order to do that line of work, to be a multi-level marketer, you have to be fully committed. You have to believe in it. You have to believe in the product. You got to believe in yourself, and you have to not quit, because you're gonna hear a lot of no's. You're gonna hear a lot of doors shut in your face, a lot of phones hung up on you. You're going to hear a lot of that's a pyramid scheme. And sometimes a lot of people cannot handle that. And they would get beat down and they would go back and join the crowd. Listen, if you want to be more than, we talked about this the other day, greatness, you can't be ordinary and be great. You can't follow the crowd and be great. Greatness is hard. Greatness is work. Greatness is dedication. Greatness is doing it over and over and over and over again. Greatness is discipline. Greatness is the gamble. Gamble on yourself. Gamble on you. You know you have the ability. You know you have the capabilities. You know you have the veracity, the capacity. You have all the acidities to do whatever it is that you want to do. And it's just up to you. There's no excuse. There's no story. People that have stories all the time about everything, it's not good. It's not good. You do not need a story. You do not need a story. Is just a story is for failures, basically. If you tell me, hey, I opened up a store and it failed because, man, it wasn't enough traffic. It wasn't enough, traffic. Well, what did you do to get traffic? Oh, they should have just came. I was in the prime real estate. That doesn't mean anything. If you can honestly tell yourself, I've exhausted everything in my capacity to make this work, and it's not working, until you say that, then you can move on. But if you can't say that, then you cannot tell me you haven't tried. Trying is not doing something twice and then quitting. Trying is going again and 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 again. Again. How many times can you do it again? Again. It's that's just the way it is. I record this show every day. I remember one time I recorded a show. I thought the show was great. You couldn't tell me that. I said, man, I tell you what, this is gonna be one of the best shows. And for 2 days, I had maybe one person listen to it, and I was highly pissed off. I was annoyed. I said, I just gave him my best work, man, and this is what I get. But it's not up to me. All I can do is record. Some episodes are gonna hit, some episodes ain't. It is not anybody's fault. But the one thing that I can control is the recording of the show. The thing I can't control, who listens to the show. You can't control that, but you can control what you can do. You can control what you can control you. You can't control nothing else. So take the gamble. Take the leap. Take a real leap. People take half leaps. People try to hedge themselves. No. Take the full leap. Go for it. Dive in. Both feet. Go in. Swim quickly. Go in, dive in, swim quickly, and get started. Okay? And figure it out along the way. Yeah, you can start off with a game plan. There's nothing wrong with that. But life is going to hit. Stick to that game plan. Figure things out. And keep it moving. You might have to change the game plan a little bit. But the point is to get started. Gamble on yourself. You're not gonna be happy if you don't try to do. If you want to create whatever you want to create, whatever kind of business you want to run, whatever thing you want to do, if you do not eventually do it, you will be unsatisfied with yourself. And the one thing that you should not have in life is regrets. Or I should have did this, or I should have did that. You don't want that. Okay? And ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that is it. We will be back tomorrow with an all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. God bless. And as always, everybody, peace.